Greetings, everyone. Once again, we are coming your way with a special conversation on the Nabila show with me, Mufta Nabila Abdullahi. This time around, we are speaking to one man who has groomed boxers in this country. Some of them have won world titles for us, specifically Richard Commey. We'll be speaking to him to tell us so many things that he's done in his career, who is likely to be the next big star, the next Richard Commey, the next Duke Micah. His young son, by name Hakeem Lokko, is doing wonders in the juvenile division of boxing in this country. If you have a father who is able to produce a world champion, you are definitely going to rise there. But as someone who is behind him, he will be giving us a better insight into the qualities of his son. We'll talk about basically everything about boxing, the year gone by, this year, what the plans are, and all that. A pleasure to come your way. I am Mufta Nabila Abdullahi. The Nabila show is proudly supported by the Red Apple and Shanice Beauty Shop. They are supporting us to do this. You'll be having their numbers very soon on your screens there, as they support us to bring you the special conversations we are having. Carl, a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much. A long time and Happy New Year.
Many, many happy returns, Carl. First of all, talk to me about the year gone by, 2020. How would you describe the year 2020?
The year 2020 is a year that no human being on this earth will forget because of this COVID that we all incurred. And it put us to different position altogether because everyone, like I said again, everyone will never forget about that. And that changed a lot of things. That never allowed things to go the way it should be. So when you are trying to compare the year 2020 to even this year, we are much happy. Just this is the first month. We are much happy because at least we know how to control ourselves, we know how to comport ourselves when it comes to this COVID. So that took everything out of the 2020, if I may say.
First of all, tell us what were the plans you had for 2020 and how did COVID affect those plans?
I mean, yeah, to be honest, when you're talking about Carl Kokko and boxing, you know, people also know. I take boxing serious than even everything in my life. For me, doing boxing from 96 till now, almost 25 years now, tells you how I take boxing. So before the year 2019, things were not going well the way I was expecting. Things were a little bit rough when it comes to the boxing of my side. But yes, that is what I know and I do best. But I know I was building a new empire. So I believe that 2020, like I was trying to come out with great and top up and coming stars. That was the 2020 I started. But because of the COVID again, everything has to shut it for us to stay. But luckily, before the year ends, we managed to bring some few stars out that we believe, or that I believe, they can also make Ghana and boxing great. So yes, that was the picture.
You talked about starting boxing out in 1996. That's quite a very long time. How did you get into boxing?
So far as I'm coming from Jamestown, you should not be surprised how I get into boxing because a lot of people in Jamestown can do and do better than whatever I'm doing, and I'm urging people to do that. I have the intention of becoming a boxer as early, but to be honest, my parents were not allowing me because I have a lot of things to do for them, so I don't have my own time to be moving around. So I couldn't get a control and a confirmation of doing it until I get to a certain level, a certain age, and I said, no, let me do this. Because at that time, at least I have managed to get a little bit control of myself so I can make a decision for myself.
So how old were you when you decided to venture into all this?
I was young. I was young.
So you were really young.
I was young that so I should believe I can do if I want to become a boxer. But still, I believe I was expecting to start earlier than the age I was at that time. And I said to myself, no, I mean, it's not necessary that you really have to be a boxer if you want to follow boxing. So let me put that one aside and let me pursue the intention or idea of becoming a trainer. So I have to go on apprenticeship.
Apprenticeship. Who nurtured you?
Oh, may his soul rest in peace. Emmanuel Teko Tego, alias Akesi, who was the uncle of Emmanuel Tego. He was my boss, and he nurtured me.
And he nurtured you, he took over the mantle. Just before that, if you hadn't become a boxing trainer, what else would you have become?
I mean, honestly, I went to emit electronics in the sense, in the aim of becoming a telecommunication or to be, to do with our gadgets, talking about electronics and stuff. Yes, that was my focus. And apart from that, I am into, I don't know whether you know about fiberglass, these cars, wheelbarrow bodies and live boats and that. I am a specialist in the live boat repairs when it get damaged and whatever. That's my profession as well. That's what my dad have been doing with Ghana Fishing Authority then time. So yes, this is what I was doing before boxing.
If you never knew anything about Carl Kokko, if you thought he was just maybe a boxing trainer that you come to know because he's grooming boxers in the country, he just made you to understand that he's actually an engineer. So I'm seated with an engineer, having a special conversation with an engineer. But how will you describe your decision to get into boxing?
I mean, to be honest, at the age of 18 years, I believe in supporting anyone, not even into sports, but anyone who is trying to make a life. Especially, I was pushing people in dancing, in football. I mean, anything, like I said again, but especially I chose football and boxing. When I was doing a juvenile football team with my uncle, who is Lokko, who is a licensed A football coach in Ghana here. That is when and where I got some of the guys and took them to football team to give them career at the age of under 12 or 13, something like that. So I was into football before a boxing and choose to do that because I love helping people. If not boxing, I will still be a sports person.
If not boxing, he will still be a sports person. And Carl, for about 25 years you've been in the industry. We'll be coming to the talents you've been able to groom all these years. But talk to me about the industry boxing. How difficult is it to find yourself within this industry?
Yeah, for the first place, I will always give thanks to boxing as I choose, and I choose it well, and I'm doing it with my heart and my everything. And I will never say bad to boxing because boxing have changed my life. Boxing have taken me to a lot of places that I don't believe. If not boxing, I will never believe I can be there. So that one, yes, if boxing is a human being, I will hug boxing, right? Yes, I'm telling you, yeah, it's serious, right? But in everything you are doing in life, I think you should do it and do it well, and it will take you to wherever you want to be. So I don't have nothing bad to say about boxing. The industry of boxing, since I joined till today, that I have never been out of boxing even for a month. Through the 25 years, I have never been out from boxing for even a month, even 2 weeks, right? I have learned a lot, and I've seen a lot, and I have followed great people in boxing, especially over here in Ghana. The top person that I will be talking about always, and who is my godfather, is Yofi Boham. Yofi Boham is someone who nurtured me when it comes to administration of boxing. So my side of boxing as a coach, lucky for me, I have much idea when it comes to administration. So that also pushed and helped me to be in the boxing circuit. So that is why it's like Carl Kokko is a different person altogether when it comes to boxing coaches in the system. And I was always give thanks to Yofi Boam.
That's Carl Kokko over there. This is the Nabila show. Today we are speaking to boxing trainer Carl Kokko. He's got history. If history is written in this country about boxing, maybe his name will be found somewhere there because his contribution to the sport has been an immense one. You talk about learning a lot since you find yourself in boxing. What are the things that you've learned or you've learned in this industry?
I mean, how can I even explain what I have learned? Like, to start from where to finish at where. But what I can say is, I started again, like I said, as an apprentice from somewhere, and whatever I was taught from the beginning, I just have to improve it. I just have to upgrade myself. Learning is you being much patient and you being much observant. Over here, I learned a lot by knowing how to start a boxing, like a boxer who wants to start, knowing how to deal with the ages of human beings, because you can't train, I mean, it's an 8 years boy like you train a 16 or even 20 years, I mean, boy or something like that. So you should know how to work around this. It's very, very important. I mean, this is a very key thing that I have learned. Having a chance to go to Winneba to upgrade myself or to learn how to train boxers and stuff. Having a chance of taking boxers over here, even under apprenticeship, to make them a national champions is another learning curve. Having the passion to be in the ring, to control yourself and control the boxer is another learning curve. Having a chance of traveling outside the country several times that I cannot even count is another learning curve. So I've learned a lot.
Carl Kokko says he's learned a lot in boxing. A quick one. Within the 25 years that you've been a trainer, how many boxers have you had pass through your hands?
More than 50 boxers have passed through my hands, and I'm still pushing more.
And you're still pushing more. So all these boxers that you've had, who are the standout boxers for you?
A lot of them. A lot of them. Even that one still, it will be difficult for me to mention all. So in case any of the boxers listening to me that maybe I couldn't mention the name, I mean, they should forgive me because, like I said again, a lot. And I don't know where to start from and where to end it.
Who was your first boxer?
My first boxer? Wow. It's a serious question you have asked me. My first boxer, when I become myself as Carl Kokko or Bronze Gym, my first boxer will go for Bukom Banku.
You trained Bukom Banku?
Yes. He was my first boxer. If I have to take one out of those that I started with, Bukom Banku was my first boxer.
It's an interesting story. That story would be told. How did Bukom Banku... Because it's quite surprising to hear for the first time that Bukom Banku is one of the boxers who passed through his hands. Because I'm actually hearing this for the first time. How did Bukom Banku pass through your hands? How did you train him?
He passed through my hands and he passed through my hands. So what are you asking now? Yeah, he passed through my hands when he was a boxer already. He joined me by approaching me to let me know or to tell me that, Coach, I would like you to train me. And at that time, I was still apprentice. But I was planning to move on, and I was training boxers in the morning, a different place altogether. Then in the evening, then I go to my boss. Because if you believe you have learned, or if you believe you are being under apprenticeship and you want to do something, you start on a low level. So if you want to start on a low level, you start doing certain things on your own. to see that whatever you have learned, you can impart into other people. So at that time, I was training James Norte, who is now not in boxing again. I was training Victor Kuono. They call him Ejako. He's still in the system. I was training Ben Ankra, who is still not trying to give up. He's still in the system. I was training George Krampa, who is still in the system. I was training some group of boxers. And at that time, Bukom Banku also joined it. And I was doing my best for him to do what he was expecting from me. So I started working with him. He came to me and he told me, I want us to work together and this and that. And I told him, you know what, I don't think I have made my mind of doing something like that, but you give me some few weeks, let me work on it. Thinking or saying that, trying to go back to my boss and letting him know that, Charlie, boss, this is what this guy is offering or trying to say. So I give Banku some time. But I got to my boss and my boss said, yeah, for now, I believe you and I know what you can do. So you are on your own. If you believe or if you want to do with him, fine. So I get a blessing from my boss. So I start doing with Bukom Banku, and things were going on with the other boys and we're moving on. So I've trained Bukom Banku. I was the first trainer who took Bukom Banku to the States. That was 2008, right? And we start pushing from there.
Interesting story that we have been told here on the Nabila show. This is the only platform you can get that. Once again, as I said, we are being supported by the Red Apple and Shanice Beauty Shop. They are proudly our supporters in these special conversations that we are having with people within the sporting fraternity who matter. Carl, at what point did Duke Micah and Richard Comey come into the picture?
Where to start from? First to Richard Comey. Richard Comey came to the picture when he was about 13 years. I picked him up as a footballer. I took him to Service Academy that I said. I started from there, or I was doing football and stuff with my uncle, who was the coach, and I was the financier of the team. I picked about 12 boys from Jamestown to Abosiokai, where missionaries train. That means Central Mosque, or ICGC. Yeah.
I've played football there myself, actually.
That's good. That's good for you, right? So that is how I pick a bunch of boys today. And at that time, Richard Comey was part of it. To play under 12 for our team. That means played for me and my uncle. From there, he graduated to become under 14 player, blah, blah, blah. And later, he shifted and went to kickboxing, and he traveled and he came back and he said, please, I want to be a boxer. So I want you to train me because you know me not today. I said, whoa, if you really want to do it, yeah, I'm there for you. And I don't mind, I'll take you on. Let's go. This is how it all started when it comes to Richard Comey. So from a teenager to adult.
From a teenager to adult, in 2016, I was at this very place, July 2016, when you were building up to that fight against Easter Junior. Talk to us about that fight against Easter Junior.
Yeah, that fight is one fight that I would never, and I can never forget, because even Ghanaians who have been following boxing very well will never forget about that fight. Because, before that fight was confirmed, people were having their doubt. And after the fight was confirmed, people were still having their doubt. Because, honestly, we're from Richard. We're from Richard when it comes to boxing circuits. We're from Richard. He was not with the national team. He was not like making any big noise somewhere people don't know much about. Yes, but that is when and where I would say that I was putting in much work So I believe, and I was believing in the boy. So I have to keep pushing more. And people were asking me, do you think your boy can even stand in front of Robert Easter? We don't believe he can even pass 6 rounds. We don't believe he can even pass 8 rounds. Like the majority of Ghanaians were doubting, and that one I don't blame them. And I mean, if I say I don't blame them, that is putting me to the certain position that I'm facing a whole lot. So I have to open my eye, open my mind, and be focused, and just keep pushing. And I have put something on me already before we got to that fight, being a world title fight. As a trainer, your aim to have a rich background. Having a boxer from amateur level, having like, let's say, highest of 12 fight, even not 12, but let's say 12 amateur fight, and let's say, and start from 2011 and do 11 fight with the boxer. For the boxer to win 11 fights in the year of 2011, then move on from there to become a national champion, African champion, Commonwealth champion, continental champion to the world. And that would be another pride for me as a trainer. So I was taking it much, much serious and much. Maybe I was using my hands and my legs to take the opportunity to make sure I take someone from where people don't was expecting to go to the maker of boxing to go and make something out of there. Honestly, from day one, I was believing Richard would beat Robert Easter regardless of the footages and the things they are talking about him. You have amateur fight, about 200 something, 300 fight. I said, I don't care. That is amateur fight. And it is not my first time of going to the States, so I was not in any scaredness. I was not nervous going there back and training a boxer from here to go and fight for a world title without basing in America. And we went there like a week, less than a week to the fight. And I will never forget that fight. And the fight went well, but after the fight, the decision was not in our favor, which it was clear that we were coming from far away, so they take it away.
You know what? On your screen right now are the training shots of 2016 when Carl Kokko and Richard Commey were at this very gym training. He talked about the outcome of that fight against Robert Easter Jr. and we will talk about the aftermath of that fight against, because in December same year he went to fight Denis Shafikov in Russia. Unfortunately, he lost that one too. In 2016, September, that 2016 fight, I remember then Sports Minister Nielante van der Poel actually said that Richard Comey had not lost the fight, and he was actually saying government would help push for a rematch. What happened to that call for a rematch? Because I'll come back for us to talk about being at the corner, how the corner was like, before we talk about other things in relation to that post-match, and we'll come to Duke Micah as well, because in my opinion, these are boxers that you've groomed who have gone to fight at the world level. Talk to us about the experience of being at that corner for a world title fight.
Yeah, like I said again, I thank God that was not my first time of going to the States. Sometimes when you're approaching something for the first time, different the way you take it. But when you have been there several times or you have been there before, different the way you take everything. You remember, or bear in mind that I took Richard Comey to Las Vegas to fight Mamajonov for the IBF Continental title. And so that was not my first time of going to the States. So even that fight, they call us as opponent, or they call us as the B side. Yeah, we would normally have the A and the B side. So we were there as the B side, and I told the manager, then the manager Pidi Akun, when he was asking me, Carl, how do you see the fight? Do you think we can make it? I said, give him some time. And after 3 days, I told him, yes, we can make it. He said, are you sure? I said, yes. He said, but then we're going in for that. So I have been there before. I have seen it when they were even expecting us not to win, and we went there to stop the opponent and became the IBF Continental Champion. So when we went in for the world title fight with Robert Easter, when I was at the corner, to be honest, I was taking it cool. like I'm in the gym here, training the boys, being at one person's corner, looking at the other side, the other boxer.
Take it from, it was normal for you and you were very, very proud.
Yeah, once again, like I said, it was normal for me to be at the corner because I was taking it normal, like I'm in my gym and training a boxer who is sparring with the other boxer, and I have to advise him what he should do against the other one. So the same way when I was in the ring over there, I mean, I was enjoying it. I was proud being there, and I was talking to Richard anyway, anyhow I want to do it. Bear in mind that in life, you can't do it alone. So before the fight, I invited Kwame Asante, who made Joshua Clorey world champion, Joseph Agbeko world champion. I contacted him for him to come and just, give me a hand to make sure we make Ghana proud. So we were at the corner together, but I was the lead trainer, and I was cool.
And he was cool. That last round, I still have the fight on my laptop right now. That last round, I remember a punch Comey received. And you were blamed for it.
I was blamed for it.
Yes.
Who blamed me?
Well, many Ghanaians blamed you that Richard had a very poor defense, and this one is purely tactical and coaching.
So it started from round 1 to round 9, round 10, like from round 1 to 11, and the 12th round, and the defense was not good, and that's a problem with the coach.
But people always say that Richard Comey's defense is not good.
No. Are we talking about Richard Comey now?
No, we're not talking about Richard Comey. We're talking about the specific fight, that specific fight that he received that punch.
Then let me tell you that whoever said that at that time, sorry to say, the person don't know boxing. Because where did Richard Comey came from? Where did he start from? As compared to Robert Easter at that time, the level was not the same. If Robert Easter had been to boxing for so many years, I've been in the US to be in an amateur, to be in games and whatever, and Richard Comey have not been even in Togo with amateur boxing before. And he's a professional boxer now, and he have earned a chance to become or to fight for a world title fight. And he's fighting against a boxer that people were rating more than Richard Comey. The lucky we were was Richard Comey was the first contender to the title.
And I even now, Ray Bertrand, he has fought him, but that person he was going to fight after that fight against Easter Jr. was Ray Bertrand.
You understand me? So it is clear that, where Richard was coming from, or where I was bringing Richard from, and if Richard had fought from 1 to 11, and let's say even 11 and 12, and the defense was not the way people were expecting, should they have to blame the boy and blame me? No. How come Robert Easter went down? How come Robert Easter was counted? They don't have problem. He don't have defense problem. Excuse me.
Excuse me. That's Carl Kokko speaking to us about how he started as a boxing trainer. If not being for boxing, he probably would have been an engineer. He's still even a specialist engineer. If anything is happening to your car that you want it solved, just contact Carl Kokko. I will put in his number on the screen. You can call him to come and do that for you. Carl, let's move the conversation on. There was supposed to be a planned rematch. What happened?
A planned rematch of what?
A planned rematch between Easter Jr. and Richard Comey.
I don't know where this information is coming from, but there was no planned rematch.
But do you people feel that you were cheated in that fight?
Honestly, yeah, we feel we were cheated. Especially me would say that we were cheated. Or it's me you're talking to now, so I'll tell you we were cheated. Because at least when you are a trainer, you have to have an idea of how scoring goes, how judging goes when your boxer is fighting. You should know when your boxer have lost, so that you should be the best person to tell your boxer, Charlie, no problem, another time, we lost the fight. That's it.
Post that fight against Robert Easter Jr., there was a fight against Shafikov. In 2017, Alejandro Luna. But since then, you've been out of the corner of Richard Comey. Mm-hmm. Tell us the story. You mentioned that this boy was a boy you picked at the age of 13. He's your son.
Yeah, I've said it already. So I don't know where you want me to start from, but my last fight with Richard Comey was I had this Slimani at the Bukom Boxing Arena, and that he won his WBC International belt. That was my last fight was with him. I was not there before the Alejandro Luna fight. And yeah, I believe whatever work I did with him, from the scratch to wherever I finished with him, or wherever the separation came in, I did marvelously well. And I will not even expect or wait someone to tell me how I did. You understand me? When it comes to the fight with Shevikov in Russia, that one alone, you bear in mind that I'm a trainer. The boxer was working with a manager, with a promoter. So those two people come before me. Their command go higher than me. And this is sports and it's a business. So when the promoter said it to the manager, and the manager accepted it, and the manager came to me by telling me, Charlie, this is what is in the pipeline. This is our next plan, or something like that. I have to deliver. I have to prove that I'm a trainer, because they are doing their work and they have come to you to tell you that the boy have a fight. So you have to prepare the boy for the fight. So I was not on full control to say we should take or we should not take. And the reason why we couldn't even say no, remember that fight also was on a pairs bid. We went to a pairs bid, and the Russians won the pairs bid against us. And if you allow yourself to go to a pairs bid and you lost, you can't give any excuse. The only excuse you can give is maybe health-wise or injury or something like that. But if nothing like that is there, I don't think you can give any excuse. So yes, it was straight away jacket that we have to go in there and fight. We went in there, we did what we have to do. After the fight, we lost 2-1 again, the same way to Robert Easter. But bear in mind that people become champions normally when they fight at their own background. So if our promoters then time couldn't put us on Ghana soil for us to fight, couldn't take us to their land, their motherland means Denmark or Germany, for us to go there and fight, and we go outside that they have invited us, they have do the expenditure on us and everything, and after the fight, and they say we have lost 2-1. What can you do? Nothing you can do.
Hold it there, Carl. I am so much interested in the story because I'm talking about being groomed by someone, seeing someone as a father, seeing someone as a son. Why did you not manage him yourself when you picked him at that tender age when no one knew him, but you allowed him to have other managers?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you should push or force yourself to do something that you cannot do. Managing a boxer is different from training a boxer. So there is no way at that time I have even thought of that, because the financial support or backing was not there that I can do that. And when I take that upon myself, then I'm going to delay the boxer. So I just have to focus on training, cycling, and other things. So that is why I have to allow someone to come in. Because in boxing, we have a trainer, we have a manager, we have a promoter that form the team.
All these years you've not been with Richard, do you have any ever regrets taking Richard to where he got to, and at this point that you were supposed to be with him, also learning more of your craft, you're no longer with him? Do you have any regrets?
Oh no, I always have to say the way it is. I'm very happy. I don't regret working with Richard Comey. I will still use him to advise or to guide the upcoming ones or the other boxers I'm training, because human beings have some better lives, and we have to always talk about that. So the great side and the good side and everything I know about him and the way I was going around with him and everything, I don't regret. I don't regret him. I don't regret by training Richard Comey, and that one, I will make it clear. And that is why whatever we are talking now, I cannot, or you cannot even take out Richard Comey's name out of what I have made. Globally or Ghana, you cannot take it out. He himself cannot even take it out because I made him Richard Comey. So there is no way I will, because of maybe if there's a difference, I will, because of that, I will say that, oh, excuse me, oh, this guy, no. When it comes to the craft itself, the work we have done, for me leaving my family, going with him to the UK to stay 5 months, 6 months, or whatever month, how will I forget? You understand me? I don't feel regret by training Richard Comey. Yes, but I have to say I feel regret by not by we not getting to the level that I was expecting to make the work I was expecting to bring out for Ghanaians. But hey, that is life. I mean, I'm still moving. I'm still even looking better, looking stronger maybe than before.
2 more questions on Richard and we'll go. You talked about when you were moving around with him. You touch on his qualities. What are the qualities of Richard Comey that you used to impart on the next young boxers you have?
I mean, he's very disciplined when it comes to training. He's very disciplined when it comes to reporting at training. You understand me? So, I mean, if you're a boxer and you can be disciplined, especially on that side, then yes, wherever you are coming from, you can make it. You can make that happen. So for that one, I'll not take it away from him. I don't know if around that time, because the way he knows me, he see me as his senior brother or his father, and he was just responding or something. But no, he's a hard-working guy when it comes to training. And that one, like I said again, I will not take it, I can never take it away from him. So that aspect and that side alone, yes, I have to say that's cool. And apart from that too, I mean, he know how to carry himself around that time. You understand? Yeah, so yes, I mean, these are the things I can say.
If you had the opportunity to change one thing that you had with Richard Comey, what would you change? What would you wish you had done differently when you were with Richard Comey?
Nothing. I feel the same. I don't regret. I don't have anything to change. I don't have anything to change. I don't know. I don't remember what I have to change.
You did everything on point. Now, finally, at what level were you expecting yourself to reach with Richard before the two of you probably had parted company?
I was not even thinking of parting company with Richard. I was not even thinking of that, right? I was believing in where we came from and where we got into. I was believing in that. Me being a trainer, honestly, I'll still be a trainer. Richard Comey will fight and finish boxing, definitely. And that one, you cannot take it away that he will not retire from boxing, right? For him to finish boxing and still do boxing, in the sense of we're seeing someone like Oscar De La Hoya, we're seeing someone like Ray Jones Jr., like they stopped boxing but still what? They're doing management, they're doing promotions. This is where I was looking everything to get to. After being a world champion, after having a couple of world titles, coming to the end, start doing some kind of boxing business by giving some people also that kind of support, by managing them or by promoting them.
Thank you very much for joining us. This is the Nabila Show, proudly supported by the Red Apple. The Red Apple, they are just located around La. If you get to Jokers, they're just close by. Their numbers are on your screens. You can just pick one and call them. There's also the Chinese beauty shop located around Ogbojo. Just place a call, and they will beautify you. They know how to get it done. We are having a conversation with Carl Kokko, a former trainer of Richard Comey, a former trainer of Duke Micah, also a former trainer of George Kramper, a former trainer of Bukom Banku. I think it will be extremely unfair if we do not have a clear understanding of where we got to. So upon that, just as he mentioned, at no point was he even ever thinking that he would part company with Richard Comey. What did they tell you when they were moving on? Is it because he lost fights that they didn't believe you were the coach who could help him to win title? What happened? What brought the relationship to a sour point that the management decided that we are taking away someone you've groomed from the age of 13?
So, to today, nobody have told me something bad I have done. Nothing. Nobody. So, nobody can tell me that they told me I was not doing this good or not doing this correct, so we are doing this. No, still today. Right? But just in life, sometimes certain things happen, and you'll be shocked and surprised.
Did you ask why?
I mean, why for sure I will ask why. And I'm telling you again that nobody, the manager, the boxer, have nothing to tell me direct that you are not doing this correct or we don't see this right, so we want to take a step or a move. But to confirm to you that after the Robert Easter fight and the Shevikov fight that we lost 2-1, we came and did a fight over here, and it was not a joke. It was not a concert party fight. The opponent we brought was another good opponent that was giving Richard a run for his money. Even Richard sustained a cut, and it was not easy. I was at the corner, but we won the fight. We won the fight as enclosed like a good fight, and we won the fight. And we made Ghana proud because it was Ghana's Independence Day when the president, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, was there, and we made this thing happen. So at least in front of the president, I made Ghana proud. So that was my last fight with Richard.
Did you tell Richard and his management that you wanted to be part of their new corner, maybe with their new coach and all that?
Yeah, okay, so before I get there, after that fight, some months, we got a deal for Richard to go to US, like to sign with Lou DiBella, and I was handling all the documentation for Richard to sign. And from there, he had to go there and meet the promoter and do some paperwork and stuff. So this is how Richard moved without me going with him. And as a trainer, I have to understand, when a boxer is going to do paperwork, what are you going to do? When a boxer is not going to fight, and it is clear that you have to go and do paperwork, you have to go with the manager, because the manager will guide him to do that kind of thing. So that was the understanding. That's why I allowed them to go, and it started from there. So from there, what I could hear from Richard, or even the manager, said, Richard want to talk to me. I said, what Richard wants to talk to me about? You are the manager, so if anything, you should have an idea. So tell me. He said, no, you don't worry. Richard will get to you, and he will talk to you and start saying, oh, okay, fine. I waited, and Richard came back to me and saying that, oh, Carl, I'll be happy to do one fight at least with Andre Rosé, like to have a difference, like to see what difference he can have. But before that, after they finished training, when he was there, when he have not told me anything, he or the coach will call me to tell me what they did today at the gym. Because Andre Rosé knows that he was a caretaker for me. he was there and I'll be coming. That was my understanding. So as at that time, there is nothing I know that, oh, you're not working, you are not going to work with Richard Comey again. So I was assuming all the time that, okay, I was training Duke Micah at that time, so let me focus on training Duke Micah, and when the time comes and I go in with Duke Micah, I will be there to do my work. And later Richard came back again to say that, he have choose to do with the coach, Andre Rose. And I said, wait a minute, what are you saying? He said, what? I said, yeah, this is what I want to do. I said, wow, when did you have this thinking? When do you have this mind? But hey, you are a human being, so human rights, when you say you want to do this, it's difficult, but I don't know what to say. But bear in mind that people will have a lot to say about us. If it happens, we are separated. So you have to also think of that. Think of the people, the other supporters. And he told me, oh no, it's a decision that he had made. He wants to do this. And I said, you know what? The only thing I can tell you is, no problem. It's not easy, but I would like to assist the trainer upon all the work I have put in. I would like to assist the trainer so that if you are saying you are going to upgrade, I also need to be upgraded as well. I don't know everything. So whatever you're going to upgrade there, if I'm there, I also learn it so that we can all grow together. And this guy said no. Richie Comey said no. He wants to have his privacy, so he don't need me. He don't need me there. I said, wow. So this is how the whole thing happened.
That's how everything happened. Carl Kokko giving us a great insight. What is that memorable fight Richard Comey has ever had under your tenure? Pick one fight that he's had that you think that I picked this fight as the best fight.
It will be difficult. It will be difficult. It will be difficult. If I have to pick just one fight, I don't know where. Because as they go by, man is improving. Things are changing. So at the level that someone experience was not great, and he have managed to pass through some top fight. And at the moment that his mind is changing, he have met another tough opposition of a top boxer and fight again. So it's difficult.
The most difficult fight that you were at the corner for Richard Comey to fight. The most difficult fight.
Most difficult? Before I accept a fight from a boxer, I don't see it as a difficult fight. I see it as a competitive fight. Right? So I don't see any fight that I have accepted as a difficult fight, but I see it as a competitive fight, right? So, if I'll go from there, like that's what I'm saying, that for me to pick one, at least let me do it, like, let me pick two fights out of.
So pick two fights.
Yeah, I have to be honest to you, to take his Commonwealth fight with background and take Robert Easter fight. Because the Commonwealth fight, we were chasing Luke Campbell. Before Luke Campbell, we were chasing Derry Matthews. Derry Matthews was the champion of the belt. And Richard was making his campaign in the UK, making noise, that Zonto boy, making this noise, going here and there, and this and that. The Matthews, for him to fight us, he was darking us. We put pressure, and he vacated the belt. And when he vacated the belt, we were trying to pick a good and a top opponent to fight in the name of Luke Campbell. But Matchroom, that's at the end, was not trying to even come in for that fight because they do a lot of calculations and they don't see why they have to come in for that fight. And fine, now the belt is vacant from Derry Matthews. So we need to fight, and we are the number one contender to the belt. And we have to go in for, get an opponent again, and still we have to go in for a tougher opponent, or a tough opponent, because the UK boxers, the managers, were not giving their boys out for them to come and fight Richard Comey. So we managed to get background who fought Gavin Rees for a bigger fight in the UK that people can never forget about that fight. We had that fight, and it was even a 55-45 or 60-45, because at that time, Buckland was experienced, a tough customer, experienced anything. But Charlie, you need to believe in yourself, whatever you are doing. And I said, yes, we can go in for the fight. We can take this fight and we will win it. He said, you sure? I said, yeah, we are sure. I'm sure. I told Richie that, you know what? Regardless of anything that this guy will do, we have to win this fight. We have to get a Commonwealth belt. So talking about the top fights that I can confirm or say, talk about, once again, I ask you permission to make it 2, right? and that will go for Buckland fight, the Commonwealth, and the Robert Issa fight. That's the world title fight.
We can spend all day talking about Richard Comey, but we need to wrap up the conversation and talk about other things. You had issues with Duke Micah. Have they been resolved?
Yeah, it has been resolved. I just have to make it short that it has been resolved. As we are talking now, he's even calling me. So it has been resolved.
He's back to Ghana. What did he say when he came?
What did he say when he came? I mean, all Ghanaians know what happened. And I mean, I don't have to go and ask him what happened or whatever. He has said it to all Ghanaians that he was not on himself, like he was not happy before the fight, and he will just make sure he will come back strong. That's it.
Just make sure he will come back strong. Carl, let's talk about other generation of boxers that you now have here. Who are the potentials for how to look out for from this gym? This gym, Bronx Boxing Gym, have had fighters in the UK, have had fighters in the States, the bigger stages. Who are the next stars coming from Carl Kokko?
I mean, once again, I don't want to mention names that I will leave other boys or other boxers out. But as of now, the Bronx Gym can boast, or I can boast of at least 8 up-and-coming boxers, potentials. Not as in before. Maybe I was having 1 or 2 that I will be talking about, right? Even before that, you know, somebody like Freddie Lawson was working with me. I was working with him, and always I will praise him. I like the way he comports himself. I like the way he takes his life, and I like the way, I mean, to give respect to those who have been helping her.
And Felix Ajoma as well.
Yeah. Before I come down to there, I'm talking about the top boxers that I work with. Talking about Frederick Lawson, who is in the States now. You remember we went in for WBC competition. We got to the semi-finals. We have to continue at Denmark, Canada, and certain things happened, and the tournament couldn't continue when we were going for the semi-finals to get to the final. But yeah, so when I'm talking about the upcoming ones, like I said again, I have more than 8 potential boys that I believe in them that can make Ghana proud.
That can make Ghana proud. 2021, what should we be expecting from Carl Kokko, specifically the Bronx Boxing Gym?
Nothing new. The things you know already that Bronx Boxing Gym or Carl Kokko have been doing, giving Ghana the best when it comes to boxing, making sure tapping the boys from the street, giving them life, and helping the juvenile ones as well. Especially that Carl Kokko is on the GBA board as a technical personnel over there. I know I have a lot to do, not only for the Bronx Gym, but for Ghana. Anyone, anywhere who wants to be in boxing, who is into boxing, who need a technical advice, or who need me anywhere in the region to come and support and encourage and train the boxers over there, because I believe that boxing should not be only for Accra or Bukom. You understand? I mean, we have tough guys from the other regions that I believe they can also do better, even better than what the guys from Accra are doing. But just because the people from Accra have been seeing it, Jamestown have been seeing it, Bukom have been seeing it, so it's like they grow up to see that. So same way, if we start going to some of the regions as well, they can equally give the challenge to the Accra people. Because when you go to the States, it is not only Las Vegas that you get boxers from. You get to different states and different places in America, then they throw the challenge in. It's only a few states over there that you don't hear their name when it comes to boxing. So I believe over here in Ghana, we can still do it. Apart from Accra, we can just have around maybe 4 or 5 regions that they can also put challenge in front of the Accra people. So I believe in the upcoming ones, and I believe in anyone who is who is aspiring to be a boxer to make Ghana proud.
Let's talk about Hakeem. Hakeem is your boy that you seem to have a lot of confidence in. What are his potentials? I remember 4 or 5 years ago when I was here, he was talking about wanting to be the next Mayweather. And you had said he should be himself. What potentials have you seen? His growth so far. What have you observed in his growth?
For the first place, I will take it as I'm a trainer. And I was doing this boxing before he was born.
Before you gave birth to him?
Yes. So when he was growing up and he got to a level that he can start crawling and start walking, if I'm going out, especially coming to training, he will start following me. See, why should I deny him? So I bring him to the gym and I start pushing him from there. Before he start knowing what is good and bad, and he said he wants to be a boxer at the age of 4 years. So at that time, I was believing that if he is taking it serious, nothing should stop him from becoming that. No, from becoming that. So I have to start pushing and guiding him to make sure he gets there. And I believe that he can do it. And I still believe he can, the noise, should I talk to them? Oh, okay, sorry for that. I was believing in Hakeem. That is why I was just pushing him to learn the trade. Because if he really means to be a boxer and he wants to get to the height, and I'm still alive, nothing will stop him. And he can be a man on his own. He can be a name on his own. So I start pushing him from there. And I still believe he can do it.
Does he still show that hunger that he had at a younger age? And the juvenile league, what has he been doing in there?
He's proving more to me than even when I was talking about. Now he's proving more, and through him now, the junior sister of Hakeem is into boxing now. The 3 of them, 2 boys and 1 girl, and the girl just won. We did some tournament at Bukom Banku tournament, and the girl won a gold and the best female boxer of the night or of the tournament. So all this is coming through the effort of Hakeem, because they start growing up seeing their senior brother or what going to boxing, following boxing, and they also start choosing to do it. You understand it? So Hakeem is a different person altogether. It's a different kid altogether from what you know years back and now. Because he have been there, Hakeem can boast of gym mates to call Richie Commey as his gym mate, Duke Micah as his gym mate, Fred Lawson, like all the top boys. When he was around 6 years, 7 years, he's in the gym with them. So that's another story to be told.
Hakeem, have had the best of boxers around to understudy in his young career. And that his father speaking there, it means that the Lokko family is a boxing family. They have boxing running through their genes. Finally, before we go, talk to us about how do we improve the relationship between boxers and trainers. I listened to Oko Odamthin, one of the legendary boxing trainers. Yes, he granted an interview where he talked about how there should be trust between boxers and their trainers. And that is the only way the relationship can be improved. What do you make of that?
I mean, yeah, like you said, boxers boxing fraternity making good relationship with media or journalists, like I said again, have to come with a good product and a good packaging from the boxers or the trainers or the boxing fraternity side. And then the media aspect also can also see how best they can also use that material to do something. But I'm just saying that it would be good for, the journalists to let the boys know things that they need, because everybody is learning things that they need, so that we can all get together or come together and make sure we give something good out there for Ghanaians and the world as a whole. When it comes to what you were asking me about Oko Odamete saying about relationship between a boxer and a trainer, yes, it is true. Boxing is not like football, whereby a player is just coming to play for a team. The team will sell the player, and the team will get the dividend or the benefit straight, and the player cannot just move from a team A to team B just like that. And look at boxing. Boxing is so different that boxers just leave or can leave their gym to join another gym, and it becomes a problem because the trainer will not feel happy of training the boy for several years, and all of a sudden the boxer will leave and go to different level or different place. So that's a difficult thing. So it will be great and better for boxers especially to be honest to their trainers, and their trainers also to be transparent to the boxers. And with that, we grow.
Why not put together a plan, a document? From training, there should be a signed contract between you and I. As and when you want to move on, we look at the terms and the conditions that we're signing the contract. We can say, I'm signing an agreement with this boxer for 5 years. After 5 years, if all of us feel that we can move on, we can move on.
But same way, after 5 years, after 6 years, after 4 years, the contract finished.
You renew.
Optional, right? So if he's not renewing, so that's the point. If he's not renewing, can you force him? No. You understand me? But when it comes to football, again, like I said, we have different categories of taking whatever you have put in as a team. Even recently that Thomas Partey went to Arsenal, Palmer was laughing, right? Yes. So you don't care how many years it will take the footballer to get to wherever. You have your development fee, right?
There's no development fee for boxing, right?
No. So that's why I'm just giving you that scenario, right? So if it is like that, you always wish your boss is willing to leave you to go wherever.
Is it about time we have a plan that no matter how the boxer leaves, wherever he goes to, whichever management he's on, there should be that development fee that will come for the gym that started training him to groom more boxers?
So this is one thing also that I believe the sports ministry, even the sports minister and the board of the GBA can sit down and work around so that it will encourage more coaches to do more work and bring more boys from the street to make Ghana proud.
The Nabila show has just provided an interesting idea to the Ghana Boxing Authority. Just consider encouraging coaches to scout for more talents in boxing and make them world beaters. That is the only way we can encourage coaches to train more boxers. If just like he mentioned, if you train a boxer 10 years, 20 years, as and when the boxer wants, he walks away to a different gym. That would be extremely discouraging. If there can be a plan, no matter where the boxer goes to, if you sign a promotional deal with a company, say boxing gym promotions, the gym that started grooming the boxer should deserve a percentage. If you go for a world title fight and make $20,000, $100,000, the gym should merit a percentage. 5%, 10%. This will encourage boxing trainers to groom more boxers in the country. It was a special time out with Carl Kokko, a former trainer of so many boxers. I don't want to mention names, but one name will always stand out because that boxer later became a world champion, IBF Lightweight champion, Commey. This conversation was proudly supported by the Red Apple. Their numbers are on your screens. Kindly place a call to them and make an order. Shani's Beauty Restaurant, Shani's Beauty Shop rather, not a restaurant. Go there and beautify yourself. Pedicure, manicure, the hair, everything. They'll get it done for you. Thanks very much for your company. Enjoy the rest of our programs.